Yeah, I don't speak Morse code. I wonder what that means. Hey guys, welcome back to Doki Doki Blue Skies. Last time stuff happened. It's been a week since I played. I don't remember. Let's go on and see what's up. It's crazy to think about how fast time is flying by. Seems like only yesterday I found out about Yuri's self-harming tendencies. Oh yeah, she does that. As I'm absentmindedly thumbing through my phone, I once again reminded that February has already started. The past few weeks felt like they haven't even happened yet at all. Okay, just remembered. February is when Yuri's parents died, like last year, so that's still gonna be a fresh wound, and she's currently cutting herself because that makes her feel better. Well, I guess that's not strictly true. I mean, yeah, in many ways, life remained the same. We're still a couple, school hasn't changed much, we still go to the literature club. But despite the apparent normality, things feel different for obvious reasons, I guess. Yuri also started becoming a little more, I don't know what the word is, obsessive maybe? Nothing too crazy, but she's been texting me a lot more than usual. Notice that she replies instantly. Yeah, if there's anything like Doki Doki Literature Club, you might want to make sure all your pencils are where you left them. Kind of like she's been glued to her phone. Maybe she's still worried that I'm judging her. After all, she did reveal a few intimate parts of herself to me. The pang of anxiety shoots through me. I don't think I'll ever get that scene out of my head. When I first saw her razor in hand, blood on the floor. Even after a few weeks, that image is still burned into my mind. The other girls are still oblivious, and Yuri's stance on whether or not she would tell them hasn't changed at all. She should tell them. I sigh and waverly rub my hands through my hair. What am I meant to do? Perhaps I should. One day, my phone will stop interrupting me when I'm deep in thought. It's Salty Mom. Hey, Mom. Hi, Salty. It's been... Wait, what was her name? Hey, Salty. It's been so long. It really has, hasn't it? What's the last time we talked? My goodness, I think it was before Halloween. That means it's been around 3 months. Jeez. Anyway, what's new? Oh, actually, what about Yuri? Are you guys together yet? Well... I could practically hear the anticipation through the phone screen. Yeah, we are. I had a feeling you'd tell me that. Look at you, my little prince, all grown up. Mom, really? Little prince? Sorry. It's just that from a mom's perspective, well, your son's first girlfriend is big news. I can't wait to meet her. You only get to meet her if you promise not to embarrass me when she's over. I can't make any promises. I roll my eyes. I can practically see the smug smirk on her face, even though we're hundreds of miles apart. Anyway, oh yeah, December exam results. Oh yes, I hope you studied hard and got the grades you needed, young man. Don't worry, I did. I did just fine. Sakura gave me my results last week, and he was pretty impressed. To be honest, I was pretty surprised myself. Overall, I did well, but I really aced Japanese history and English. That's excellent to hear, sweetheart. Well done. A small laugh filters through the phone speaker. Huh, what's so funny? I just heard you saying that Yuri's a huge fan of literature, and she's constantly reading books, right? Yeah? Well, assuming you guys discuss these books, well, then it's clear that she's rubbing off on you. Seems like she's really helped you to appreciate literature, make you more analytic and thoughtful yourself. Clearly it's showing in your grades. Really? I never even thought about that. Does it happen in every relationship? Hard to say, really. It's definitely common, though. You spend so much time with your partner that you subconsciously start copying their mannerisms and tendencies. Some people kind of do it a little bit too much, in my opinion. Like, some people seem like they're purposely changing themselves. They know it's not like a subconscious thing. They consciously know they're changing themselves to fit their partner's ideal partner, and I feel like that's wrong. I know, kind of stopping the visual novel for a second, but I feel like, you know, you should be yourself more than anything, because you're gonna, if everything goes right, you're gonna marry that person. You want to be in the household of the person that didn't really just lie there through your entire relationship. You want to know that person's inside and out. That way you are not surprised when crap goes south. That's my soapbox. And that may be useful, especially now. Huh, why? Tut tut, it's Valentine's Day coming soon, Salty. If her personality is rubbing off on you, you might find it easier to think of something special for her. Ah, I totally forgot about Valentine's. On the year that you get a girlfriend, you forget about such a romantic day. When you put it like that, it does seem a little illogical. Well, it's not for a week, so I'll still got some time. Don't dawdle, sweetheart. You'd be amazed at how quickly the week will fly by. Okay. I'll get it. I'll think of something. Anyway, what have you been up to? Given that it's been a while since you called, I imagine work's been really busy. There's a sigh on the other hand. Yes, you're right. Clients have been so demanding over the past few weeks. Clients? What do you do, Marm? New projects, new technologies, new strategies. I'm so glad when this business quarter is over. New technologies and strategies? What do you mean? Well, I won't bore you with all the finer details. Basically, our company has rolled out his new app. We're supposed to use it when we're talking to our clients as it meant to boost communication efficiency. My workplace that I work for does that too now. They recently are putting in a new app that we have to use, and training's going, and it's really annoying, and I don't like it. The only problem is it's not exactly intuitive, rather than the opposite. That's not been much company training on how to use it. Well, we get the training, it's just dull and nobody wants it. So we've basically had to do our own research on how it works. It's tedious, but better than not knowing what to do, I guess. Anyway, unfortunately, I have to go, sweetheart. I was lovely to catch up with you again. I promise it won't be so long until the next talk, okay? It's fine, Mom. You've been really busy, so don't worry about it. Well, I'll see what I can do. Huh, about what? Oh, nothing. Forget I said anything. I didn't get that. What was that? Oh, she's probably coming over. That's probably what that means. Bye, Salty. I love you. Love you too, Mom. Click. Yay! As I put my phone back into my pocket, my mother's words continued to swirl around my head. We've had to do our own research on how it works. Oh, it's advice for you, maybe. Of course, the answer was right there. Why did I research... Oh, okay. I thought you meant like dating advice. Why did I research self-harm on the internet before? Man, I could be a real dum-dum sometime. Yeah, I mean, it's been going on for about a couple months now, and you're just now like, oh, I have the internet. I could look things up on computer. Just as I get up to make my way to the computer, my phone rings. Speak of the devil. Yuri!
Hi, Salty.
Hey, Yuri.
I tried calling you just now. You weren't around. You weren't cheating with another woman, were you?
No, I was just talking to Mom, so that's probably why I didn't see your call.
Your mother?
Yeah, it's been a while since we spoke, so it was really nice to catch up with her again.
Oh, I can imagine. How is she?
Stressed, but she's doing fine. She was happy to hear about my exam results. Guess that parental instinct never goes away, huh? I laughed by myself, but realized what I had just said. Yeah, she don't got parents. Oh. I meant...
It's okay.
There's an awkward silence for a moment.
Anyway, I was wondering, can you come over? I've been missing you.
I frowned slightly. It's a Sunday, Yuri. The last time you saw me was Friday in school. It's only been 2 days. Is everything all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just really want to see you right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be right over. I mean, 2 days in a relationship, that seems like a long time for people. So it's my first time going to Yuri's house. Ooh. Strange to think that this is the first time it's happened, even though we've known each other for months. Yeah, we've never been to Yuri's. Oh, is that her bedroom? One second. I had a cough. I'm trying to mute my microphone when I do that now, so I don't catch that in my recording. So if you get like a blank, that's what that blank was. 1 sec, gotta do it again. Okay, I'm back. After exchanging a kiss, I take a seat on the bed, right next to Yuri. She's blushing slightly. Your bedroom looks exactly how I imagined it would.
What do you mean?
I expected more purple. It just looks really elegant and tidy. much like you. Oh, damn, Salty. And of course, you could only have a huge bookshelf right next to your bed. How many times have you tried to reach over the bookshelf while you were snuggled under the sheets? She smiles bashfully. It never stops being heartwarming.
Maybe a few times. By the way, Salty. Would you like to see my what?
Get your mind out of the gutter, Salty. You're what? I'm painfully aware of the suggestive tone the conversation has suddenly adopted. I think it is. Judging by the furious blushing on Yuri's face, it's safe to say that I'm not the only one.
Although you probably think it's really weird.
Come on, girl, give it to me. Wait. Are we thinking of different things? She reaches toward her desk and pulls out a medium-sized black box. Uh-oh. Oh, her knife collection. Alrighty.
Well, you remember how I said I had a knife collection?
A wave of understanding washes over me. I have to fight the urge to laugh to myself. My god, the situation could have been made a million times more awkward. Oh, you wanted me to show you, man? You wanted to show me your knives.
You're not weirded out by it?
Nah, at one point, I was tempted to get you a knife for Christmas, but I figure you already have a few. Besides, I don't want the type of knives you like. I don't know what types of knives you like. I'm kind of curious, to be honest. I don't know if I would give the cutter a knife for Christmas. I don't think I would. I've never met someone who's collected them. I do. But I'm not a cutter. I just collect them because I like them. So yeah, go ahead. Apprehension is still visible on her face, but after swallowing nervously, she gently opens the lid. Wow. You weren't kidding when you said a collection, were you?
Sorry, I didn't know. It must be really weird. I don't know why I even suggested it.
She moves to snap the lid shut, but I reach out and gently grasp her hand. Surprise flickers across her features as she looks at me. If I look closely, I can detect shame in her eyes. It's not weird at all. I accept for who you are a long time ago, Yuri. Please don't feel ashamed. Plus, I really want to see these knives of yours.
Really?
I smile reassuringly at her. Yes.
If you're sure.
She gently reopens the box and pulls out a small knife. Is this one a dagger? It looks too small to be a knife.
It is indeed. This one actually came from the 18th century, and if I recall, it's also from Spain.
Oh, damn, she's also got, like, history on these things. Spanish, huh? I slowly take the dagger from Yuri and hold it in my hand. The hilt is silver, and the blade comes from a golden sheath. Carefully, I unsheathed it. This one isn't particularly sharp, but I would recommend exercising caution. I turn it over in my hand. It's not exactly a large weapon, but the craftsmanship is undeniable.
During the Renaissance age, a dagger such as this was actually used as part of everyday dress. In fact, daggers were the only weapons the commoners were permitted to carry. The dagger was very popular in Spain, where it was referred to as either a dagar or a punol.
I butchered those, but you get the idea. I sheathed the knife and handed it back to Yuri, who put it back into the box. You really know your stuff, huh? It's really admirable how intelligent you are. Books, science, knives, is there any limit to your knowledge? She blushes and averts her eyes into the box.
You're too kind, Salty.
My eyes are drawn to a rather large curved knife that sits in the middle of the box. Wow, this one has a really cool shape. As you move away from the base of the blade, it's curved to the side and it points to where the head is a very different angle. Scimitar? Is that kind of what it's called? But I think that's a sword.
Ah, this one has a fascinating history.
Her face has lit up, and passion flares behind her eyes. It's the type of fervor I can see only when she's talking about her books. Kukri.
It's actually called the Kukri, and it's an icon of Nepal.
Do you see how the head of the blade is at an angle? This gives the Kukri immense chopping power. You see, if it isn't a knife designed to stab or slice, though you can of course still do that, the head and weight of the blade makes that very effective at cutting through flesh. In fact, it's even able to cleanly chop limbs off. How romantic. I think I know a few fictional serial killers who'd love to use a weapon like this, ha ha ha. But what's with the little notch above the handle?
Essentially, it's to stop blood from dripping onto the user's hand. That would make the handle slippery and impractical.
Man, I had no idea there's so much that went into the design of these things. To me, knives are just simply cutting tools with a straight edge. Guess it goes to show how much I know.
I don't blame you in thinking that. An interest in knives is hardly the norm, so it's a given that you wouldn't give them that much thought.
She holds the knife, the kukri, up and slowly turns it around her hand. From her expression, it's clear that she is admiring the blade. I'll admit that it's a little unusual after all. If someone told me that one day I'd be looking at my girlfriend admiring a dangerous weapon, I wouldn't believe them. But that's the kind of girl you want to get, you know? Girls that can kick your ass, kick your ass, just be... Yeah, that's kind of hot. But being with Yuri, it opened my eyes. It's helped me see that people have a variety of interests. In a way, it's refreshing to see how uniqueness is in a person. What is it about knives that you like so much? I remember you talked about it a long time ago, but I can't remember what it is that you said. There are many reasons, some of which make more sense than others, I suppose. Let's start with a simple reason, the craftsmanship. An untold number of hours go into creating the knife as you see them. The weight, the feel, the sharpness, the length, the design, the color. There's also the rather dark association that knives have. Salty, am I wrong in thinking that there's something inherently fascinating with the macabre? We're taught to fear the darkness, but there's something so intriguing about it. You know, if I think about it, I can see what you mean. Like if we take Halloween, for example, it's pretty much a festival dedicated to the dead, right? Yeah, it's pretty commercialized, but I've always enjoyed it. Telling ghost stories, scaring each other, seeing all the gruesome costumes people wear. Yuri nods in earnest. Fear is such an enigma. Different people fear different things. Some people love horror movies, yet others balk at the very thought. When it comes to knives, well, you only need to look at the world around you to see what kind of reputation they have. And knives never judge you. Have you ever used these knives to cut? Wow, you really did that? Cut yourself? I immediately berate myself for asking such a question like that. It sounded way less insensitive in my head. I was surprised you'd even have to ask that. You have so many, and a lot of these knives look, well, they're really big and they look really sharp. Yuri, stay silent. I'm just worried about you, that's all. More silence is growing more uncomfortable by the second. I know you are, Salty. It means a lot to me that you care. I was sort of afraid that you'd break up with me once you saw my scars. Break up with you? No, of course not. If anything, it might make me want to be with you more. Why? Are you... Well, I want to see you get better. Yeah, she's really gonna like the fact that you think that she's sick. I mean, you kind of have to, you know, be a little bit more subtle about it. Like, hey, babe, that's not something normal people do. You want to get some therapy? Maybe like one of those dogs, whatever they're called, self-help dogs. But like disguise it as like a relationship gift. It's our child kind of thing. And I actually wanted to do some research on self-harm with you. And look at some therapy options, but that won't be necessary. The finality in Yuri's voice stopped me dead. I only heard such assertion in her voice maybe once. Why not? Because I don't want to go to therapy. Don't you want to stop cutting? Self-harming is the only way I ever know how to deal with my issues. It's the only way I've been able to express myself. But we don't know it's not a healthy way to deal with your feelings, Yuri. What if you cut too deeply? Or I don't know, cut a vein or something. I won't. I know which places are safe to cut and which specific areas to avoid. That does not make me feel much better, you know. I'm sorry. She sighs deeply. To be honest, I know that you eventually may ask me to try therapy. I know it's probably hard for you to see it like this, but for me, it's really not that simple. Then help me understand. Please? If I must. Although I warn you, you're not going to understand at all. Anyway, she reaches in the box and takes out a silver knife. As she speaks, she rolls it between her fingers, taking utmost care not to accidentally cut herself. Now she tries to not cut herself. Like I said, self-harming has been the only way I've been able to deal with my feelings. And yes, I know it's maladaptive. But you have to understand that for me, it's like a routine. It may not be a good approach, but it's the only approach I have. And what is the whole point of therapy? To get me to stop self-harming. In other words, losing the only way I ever know how to control myself. I simply couldn't imagine any other way of dealing with things. Plus the thought of opening up to a complete stranger about my innermost insecurities is simply unimaginable. I hid it from my parents. I hid it from you. The only reason you knew about my habit was simply through chance. There's an awful lot of vulnerability and blind trust to put into a random stranger, don't you think? As much as I hate to admit it, yeah, I can definitely see what she means. It's easy for me to stand here and ask her to see a therapist, but it's a whole different story for her. If there's any consolation, Salty, I don't exactly cut frequently. I won't deny that it still happens, but ever since we started dating, it happens a little less. Maybe your love could set her free, you know? Really? Yes. Having someone to talk to? Someone who's open-minded, who's willing to listen to me ramble on about literature, or look at my knives with me? It does make a difference. She slowly inches her face closer to mine. It's amazing how much of a difference just one person can make. So thank you. She tentatively reaches her arms out for a hug. I comply instantly and pull her close. Her head rests against my chest. Yuri. Look, I get it. I know you don't want to see a therapist. But can you at least promise me that you'll think about it? For my sake or for yours? She looks up at me. Salty. Please, I'm serious. I know you don't want to, but this isn't something I can ignore. Okay. I'll promise that I'll at least consider it. But please don't get your hopes up, okay? Well, that's reassuring. Alright. That's all I can ask for now. She nods slowly. By the way, I've been meaning to ask you, would you like to read the first ghost story I ever read with me? Would you like to read the first ghost story I ever read with me? Okay. You still got it on you? Of course. It's one of the strongest reminders I have of my parents. Sadness flickers over her features. I'm quick to reply. Of course, where is it? She motions to a book, resting snugly on the bookshelf next to her bed. Even though it's a little sad to think about how the books serve as a memory for her dead parents, it's endearing that it's so close to her bed. Almost like a guardian that watches her while she sleeps. Man, Mom was right. I really do sound like Yuri. I wonder if Salty's going to tell his mom that Yuri doesn't have parents. Because she might come in and, you know, be like, oh, well, I want to meet your parents. If you're going to be dating my son, I should get to know your side of the family. And then hilarity. I'm going to overwrite this. Hilarity comes in. Play. Hey, Yuri. I've been looking all over for you. Why are you like looking like you just cut yourself? And she hit her hands real quick. Yuri starts when I call out her name, but instantly reflexes once she catches sight of me. Salty, sorry, I was in the bathroom. Yeah, I figured as much when I saw that you weren't in the classroom. Anyway, do you want to eat lunch with me? I would love to. So she's cutting off. She's cutting still pretty often. This is what I'm getting out from that. Come on, let's go to the roof to eat. We start walking together down the hallway, our shoulders nearly touching. The back of our hands brush together as we walk. Public displays of affection are strictly prohibited in our school, and Yuri's not one for breaking rules. Still, even the small touch sparks electricity between us. I stealthily link our pinky fingers together, promising a shy smile from Yuri. Aww. We walk together in compassionable silence, passing by the occasional student and hearing snatches of conversation from within the classrooms. Salty, isn't the stairway to the roof on the other direction? I guess, but I was just following you. But I was following you. I do that all the time as well. Leave it to us to do something like this. We walked all the way to the first year classroom without realizing what had happened. I suppose this counts as our exercise for the week. Oh, yeah, definitely. As we turned around to head back, I noticed Yuri curiously peeking in one of the classrooms. Oh yeah, shouldn't Natsuki class be around here? She is in class 1C, if I remember correctly. Do you want to say hi to her? Actually, we could even ask her to have lunch with us. Is this going to be a decision? Yuri bites her lips and looks over the classroom again. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I wouldn't want to stop you from talking to your friends. Hey, don't forget, she's your friend too, right? That's true. We can do whatever you want. I mean, it doesn't seem like you're that... Oh, it doesn't seem like you're that comfortable with it. No, I'm fine, really. Go ahead and ask her. I'll wait out here for you. Okay then, if you're sure. With one last glance back, I hesitantly slide open the classroom door. Gotta remember what Natsuki's voice was. It doesn't seem like Yuri was too keen on eating with Natsuki, but if she said it was okay, it must be good for her to get close to other people too, right? Stepping inside the classroom, I met with a fierce, curious glances from students. There's no surprise, though, given that not many people know all of their upperclassmen. Natsuki hunches over along on a desk, scribbling something on a piece of paper. As I approach, I'm surprised to see that she's read. But I lost my ability to speak. 1 second. As I approach, I'm surprised to see that rather than writing, she's drawing something. Hey, Natsuki, what are you drawing? Startled, she looks up and quickly whips the paper off her desk. Salty, what are you doing here? Just saying hi. Okay, hi. Are you trying to start your own manga or something? No. She turns red at my allegations. Looks like she's drawing manga. If you don't have anything better to do, why don't you beat it? Actually, I wanted to ask you something. What? Well, if you want me to beat it, I could just leave. Why do you want to ask? Are you sure you want to know? I'm perfectly fine with just minding my own business. Just tell me already! Okay, I was gonna ask if you wanted to eat with Yuri and me. Oh. Well... She looks down at her now wrinkled piece of paper in her lap. With a frustrated sigh, Natsuki crumbles the paper up in a ball and tosses it into her desk. Whoa, what are you doing? I reach out for the balled up drawing, but my hand's quickly swatted away by Natsuki. Don't you want to keep your drawing? No, and keep your nosy nose out of my business. Now, where are we eating? The roof, is that okay with you? Yep, just lead the way. As we head for the door, I still can't help but feel bothered at her tossing away her hard work. It's probably like the other one poem she threw away before that Monica found. Hey Yuri, guess we're having lunch together, huh? Way to state the obvious. It's called small talk, ever heard of it? Yuri and I don't need small talk, right Yuri? I mean, it would be nice to live in a society without any of that. Jeez, let's just walk all the way up to the roof without talking then. Fine by me, Yuri. I wouldn't mind. Let's do it then. Okay. We stand up on the rooftop quickly, the cool breeze giving the sunshine a comfortable warmth. Fondly, Natsuki flings her arms in the air and speaks in an exasperated tone. That was so awkward. Maybe for you, but sometimes Yuri and I don't talk when we're together. It's just a matter of acclimating to be quiet. After a while, you learn to enjoy it. I mean, it's not like I hate the silence, but when I'm alone, it gets so awkward when you're with other people. You guys are weird. Never said I wasn't. Anyway, shall we eat? Yeah, let's sit over there. Having settled down, Yuri takes over her bento box as I pull my own lunch out of the bag. This happens to consist of extremely healthy options of 2 packaged breads. Yakisoba bread and my personal favorite, curry bread. How much you want to bet Natsuki doesn't have any lunch? As I tear open the curry bread, cellophane, I pause. Natsuki's been sitting with her arms wrapped around her legs, making no movement to bring out her lunch. Looks like she's just staring into space. Hey Natsuki, where's your lunch? She jumps a bit at my question. I forgot it. Oh, did you leave it at your desk? We can go back and get it if you like. No, I mean, I forgot it at home. But she didn't even check her bag for it. It's fine, don't worry about me. I tossed my yakisoba bread at her. Here, I don't know how much you like this stuff, but it's better than nothing. A look of, I don't know, shock, surprise maybe? Whatever emotion it is, caused her eyes to widen for a moment. How low of an opinion must she have of me to be this surprised? Are you sure? Yeah, it's not like I'm gonna starve if I give it to you. Okay then, thanks! She enthusiastically tears the plastic package apart and chomps down on the fried noodles and bread. Did you skip breakfast? Or is that just your favorite type of bread? At my question, Natsuki seems to choke on her bite for a second before hastily chewing and swallowing. I skipped breakfast? I think it's like a hungry day for me too? Wait. I skipped breakfast. I think that's like a hungry day for me too. What's a hungry day? You know, those days when you can never get full? Oh, okay. I can relate to that. That's most likely results from an unhealthy diet. Are you including me in this statement? Well, I can't argue against that. I do not have an unhealthy diet. To have an unhealthy diet, you have to eat. Okay, maybe I bake a lot of pastries for myself, but looks like Natsuki's out of excuses. Just a minute, Natsuki, you're totally unhealthy. I mean, you don't play any sports and you basically live off of cupcakes. Hey, I made one thing... I make other things besides cupcakes. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm not sure how you two survived this way. Well, we've been doing just fine. Yeah, we're still alive, aren't we? Quite the high expectations you have there. That's just Salty setting a low bar for himself as usual. Don't let me in with him. Wow, way to throw me under the bus, Natsuki. She shrugs and smirks at me. If the shoe fits. Who's the one who accepted my offering of bread? You! You're the one who gave it to me. Don't you dare try to guilt me over that fact. Jesus, just a joke. As an apology, I'll buy you a coffee later. And make that a strawberry milk and you got yourself a deal. Sounds good to me. And with that, we all turn back to our food. After a while, Natsuki polishes off her bread and crumbles up the plastic packaging. Hey, I'm gonna go throw this away. I think lunch is almost over, so I'm just gonna head back while I'm at it. See you guys at the club. And, thanks for the food. With our faces full of food, both Yuri and I wave off Natsuki. The smaller girl turns and leaves. That wasn't so bad, right?
No, I suppose it wasn't. Sorry, I don't know what's going on in my mind.
Her weak chuckle caused me to instinctively grab her hand. It's fine, Yuri. You take your time.
Thank you. I'm really grateful that I have you by my side.
Her voice adopts a breathy tone for a moment, and her hands feel exceptionally warm in mine. It's really just imitating conversation that's the hardest part. Conversations, topics, small talk, awkward silence, everything just deepens the anxiety.
Kind of like what Natsuki was talking about, huh?
Nah.
Yes, I don't normally mind the silence, but when I may be hyper aware of it.
That's perfectly fine, Yuri. I think most people can relate to at least some of these when what you're feeling. You know? And just we were about to launch into a heartfelt conversation. The bell couldn't have had worse timing. Our program by Monica.
We should start heading back, shouldn't we?
I sighed and nodded, packing up my stuff. Yep, let's talk more during the club.
Agreed.
Man, I don't think I've ever been the first one to the club. That is until now. Well, Yuri would be here with me too, but she has to go to the bathroom again. Some girls have the bladders of squirrels. Or maybe Yuri wouldn't be. Gosh dang it, Salty. You couldn't even go one day without thinking of that, could you? Well, he's probably right. I go with your instinct. I don't even know if it's right for me to think of the stuff when I'm thinking about Yuri. Wouldn't be doing her injustice to not consider the hardships she's going through. But then again, I don't want to define her by her self-harm. I have no idea what to think. Fortunately, my mental beratings are cut short by the rattle of the door opening. Salty, what a surprise. Didn't expect to see me here yet, huh? Nope, definitely not. Where's Yuri? She's usually with you right now. After all, you two always walk to the club together. Oh yeah, she's in the bathroom right now. Feel kind of weird escorting her to the bathroom and all. You don't have to treat her like the fragile little flower, you know. Yeah, I know that. I once again reminded of the fact that I'm the only one who knows Yuri's secret. Still, Monica may have a point. As I open my mouth to continue the conversation, the door slams open. I thought that was my door at first. Announcing the arrival of Sayori and Natsuki. Hi, Salty. Don't forget about Monica. Oh, and Monica too. Welcome back to the club, you two. Where's Yuri? She's in the bathroom. Are you looking forward to discussing literature with her today? Something like that, I guess. Or is it your case is more like discussing manga? Hey, manga is literature! Sayori, you just stole Natsuki's line. Sorry. This isn't a joke. I don't appreciate people making fun of manga, especially when they're people like you who wouldn't even consider what I'm saying about it. Idiots. Classic Natsuki.
Hello everyone, I apologize for my delay.
Whoa, Yuri suddenly materialized beside me. It's fine, Yuri. You're not late. Now that everyone's here, though, we can get the meeting started. As per usual, we'll be having a bit of free time first, followed by a poetry discussion and general announcements, sorry. Okay, everyone, let's get busy. We get to split up for the smaller groups. We get to split up into small groups at that, with Monica leading the way by gently shuffling Sayori off into a corner of the room. It's just me, Yuri, and Natsuki left. Out of the corner of my eyes, I could see Natsuki opening her mouth to speak before Yuri cuts in.
Salty, would you like to continue with our novel then?
I'm just gonna say, just in case I can make a choice. Natsuki turns away, brow furrowed in frustration. Did you cock block her? Is that what just happened, or did you unintentionally do that? Hold on, Natsuki. Were you gonna say something? No. Not interested in whatever stuffy book you guys are reading. We could have a three-way book reading. No? She glances over at Yuri as she says this. I don't know how accurate my hunch is, but I got a feeling that Natsuki wants to talk to Yuri more. Come on, spit it out. What happened to our lunchtime bonding? It's none of your business. I want to even go talk to you.
Sorry if this is presumptuous, but did you want to speak with me then?
Never mind. The smallest girl quickly spins around to flee the scene. The smaller girl. I know that Yuri wants to get on with the book that we're reading, but Natsuki seemed pretty eager to talk to her. Should I just hang out with Yuri or encourage her to talk to Natsuki for a change? Here's the choice. I have to admit, I'm a bit reluctant to give up quality time with my girlfriend. But then again, I could read with her another time, too. Either way, I need to make a decision before Natsuki hides away with her manga again. Ask her to hang with Natsuki. Knowing Natsuki, she's probably going to bottle this up and never talk about it again if we don't stop her. What's that? Okay, I got cough again. Okay, I'm back. Knowing Natsuki, yeah, she's gonna bottle it. So for the sake of everyone's sanity, it's probably for the best if Yuri just talks to her now. Hey Yuri, I think you should actually follow up with Natsuki.
Do you not want to read today?
No, it's just that I think Natsuki really wants to talk to you.
You have a point there. To be honest, I am curious about it. Alright, then if it's fine with you, I'll go speak to her now.
Go for it. I'll just do homework or something instead. Lord knows I need to work on procrastinating less. I wave Yuri off as I pull my workbook out with a sigh. Guess I'll be pulling a Monica today. Life's rough when you have to be a Monica. I just finished a particularly difficult math problem when Monica suddenly interrupts my concentration. Given my feelings on math, I can't say that's an unwelcome distraction though. Okay everyone, it's getting late, so let's hurry up and share our poetry. As I put away my homework, I sense a presence that appears before me. It's Yuri. But just as I'm about to speak to her, Monica interrupts me. Salty, you remember to write a poem this time, right? Monica says this with a bright smile on her face. However, I can't help but hear a threatening edge to her voice. That does not look like a smile. That looks like I'm gonna kill you. If Yuri doesn't cut you, I'm gonna cut you. Man, when did cute girls become so scary? Yeah, I did. I hope I did you proud with it. Haha, we'll see. I pull out my poem and turn to Yuri, offering up my own handiwork. So, how'd it go with Natsuki? She pauses as she takes my poem, clearly mulling over her words. Finally, she starts to speak with a smile.
Well, I can't say they went smoothly the entire time.
She was quite evasive and prickly when I first confronted her, although there's no doubt that the awkwardness factored into it.
This may surprise you, but I don't think I ever approached Natsuki on my own before, so that didn't help matters either.
Yeah, she's talking. It's still Yuri. That's part of the course when it comes to Natsuki. And don't worry too much about it being awkward. You came off as very well spoken in general.
Really? I wouldn't have thought so.
Really? Not to downplay your own insecurities, of course, but I do think that you're overthinking things a lot.
Huh, that might be an underestimate.
Anyway, after a bit, we began discussing topics such as our interests. To summarize, we just had a normal conversation. It was the kind of banal conversation that people have every day, but somehow it made me feel content. Her eyes sparkled with life as she says this. I hope... Well, I'll be okay with it if they got it together instead of this salty. Whatever. That's understandable, after all. Isn't a happy life usually made up of multiple small, satisfying moments rather than a few huge, joyous moments?
You're right. All these things happen make me wonder why Natsuki and I fought so vehemently in the past.
Part of it was because of the difference in your poetry styles, right?
I suppose when two passionate opposing opinions clash. Absolute pandemonium ensures. It's probably less outrageous than that. Speaking of poetry, though, I think Monica's giving me the evil eye, so do you want to start sharing? You don't want to have Monica give you the evil eye. With pleasure, Salty. In any case, nice analysis today, Salty. Thanks. I've been learning from the best, so... You know, if there's one thing I'm glad about, is when it comes to you and your dating, is that it makes my job as president a lot easier if more people are enthusiastic about literature. And I'm pretty sure that you become more enthusiastic about it after you dated her. What, so you're not just happy for us as your friends? Oh, well, that goes without saying. Thanks for the support, though. In the beginning, I wasn't really sure how it'd be if two members of the club were dating. No problem. To be honest, I had my own reservations about it before, too. I'm gonna kill you, motherfucker. But it looks like everything's turned out alright. Right? Yeah, or at least I hope so. Anyway, it looks like everyone else is done by now. So do you want to reconvene with the others now? Sure thing. Okay, everyone. Hope you had good discussions today. It's actually really great practice for our Japanese classes, you know. And as you all know, finals are coming up next month. Natsuki and I instantly groan. Don't remind me. Yeah, there's still a whole month away. No need to bring that up now. But the early bird catches the worm, right? What's the worm in this case? I guess it'd be good grades. Good grades which leads you to being able to get into a good university and thus finding a well-paid, stable job. Which will then prevent you from having to die alone without a family nor a home. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. Okay, if you don't like that idiom, what about this one? An ounce of prevention prevents a pound of cure. And I assume the pound of cure would be failing grades? That's right. And we all know what failing our exams will lead to. Let me guess, living under a bridge and dying alone. You got it. Jeez, Monica, when did you become our mom? Plus, high school isn't even mandatory, you know. Plenty of people live normal lives without going to university, too. I know, I'm just exaggerating. Sorry, I think I projected my stress on everyone. I definitely think that it's wrong to assume that the only path to career success is through higher education. All that does is oversaturate the job market with random degrees and bury young adults into tens of thousands of dollars in debts. Amen, sister. At the same time, these young adults often don't even know what they really want to pursue a career in. Some people might be better be off in trade school or doing freelance work. Pardon me if this is too forward, but there seems to be some cognitive dissonance at play here. Cognitive dissonance? Oh, you mean what someone believes in two conflicting ideas? That's right, and Yuri's actually right too. I don't think that people should be forced to go to college just to fulfill societal expectations, yet I feel that pressure too. Of course, I always want to go to a good university that could be better myself. But there's always the pressure at the back of my mind. I don't even know what my parents would do if I didn't go to university. So I guess all that stuff you said before about pressuring and being busy was true, huh? Natsuki, did you think Monica was lying about all that? No, I just thought she was exaggerating. Oh, it's fine, Natsuki. So the stuff I say does sound far-fetched at times. Man, we really have to take you out to a spa day sometime, Monica. Actually, everyone probably deserves a day of relaxation at this point. Especially Yuri. A group spa day? My, Salty, are you hoping for a spa with mixed baths? I think there is a mod about that. Let's get that mod. Let's install that mod right now. What? No! Damn, now I can't stop thinking about it. Besides, Yuri's the only girl for me. Oh, nice save. Come on, Yuri, let's show them all and go to a mixed bath by ourselves. Yuri completely red in the face now. I've really got to remember not to make jokes like that around her. I'd rather have you not show us that. Yeah, Salty, don't be gross like that. Sorry. Okay, let's get back on topic before Salty makes Yuri implode out of embarrassment. Hey, Yuri's not that embarrassed, are you, Yuri? Let's talk about exams. Whoops. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Well, so even Natsuki would rather talk about exams, huh? Same here. Alright then. Now, I don't mind if I'm jumping a gun a bit, but I was thinking about how about we hold a few study sessions together for exam prep.
Aren't you forgetting the finals aren't for another month? They don't have to be held right now. We could get together when it's closer to final season. Personally, I believe that holding a study session together would be a good idea. Between the 5 of us, each subject could have at least one person who proficients in that area. And that way, we could have those who excel in certain subjects help those of us who struggle more in those classes. Yeah, I think that makes a study group is pretty smart. It helps motivate us more, too. If we all support each other and cheered each other on. I don't have any objections to it myself. And like Sayori said, it'll stop us from procrastinating. He means stops you from procrastinating. Oh really, miss? I lost my workbook? Meanie, that's not even procrastinating. That's just me being absent-minded. Okay, but who's the one who rushed over to copy homework during lunch before? Fine, it'll stop you and me from procrastinating. Happy? Very. Hey, this is all really cool and whatever, but I think we're all forgetting one tiny detail. I'm not in the same year as you guys. There's really no point inviting me to the study group because I won't be able to help anyone with their homework. We can't leave you out. This is a club thing. And if you can't help us study, you can still provide emotional support. Yes, I really don't mind if you're with us. Rather, I think I'd actually like it if you would all study and talk together. If we all studied together different subjects. And I suspect that Monica feels the same too. We can't just go abandoning a fellow club member and friend like that. Yeah, what do you say, Natsuki? You're joining us? Okay, fine, but only because y'all dragged me along anyway. Wide grin on her face betrays Natsuki's truer thoughts. Funny how by this point we all tell that she really means the opposite of what she says. Yay, I knew you'd say yes. Jeez, it's nothing to cheer about. I'm glad there's everything settled nicely now. Actually, that should be it for today, too. Thanks for the hard work today, guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Phew, I somehow feel exhausted already. To be honest, same. Hold on, I don't believe we have planned out the actual dates for the study session. Oh, thanks for reminding me. Let's discuss it in a group chat so we all write down the schedule best fits us. We all make noises of affiliation as we pack up our affirmation. Studying with the girls, huh? With any luck, Yuri and Monica's influence will somehow pull up my grades. Not to mention that'll be a lot more fun studying with friends. Although there will undoubtedly be more disagreement when it comes to studying literature. Oh well, it'll be worth it in the end, right? Yay! Let's do one more, and I think that'll be it. Take a break. You know that feeling when you wake up and you actually feel refreshed from having a solid night's sleep? Yeah, me neither. As I checked my phone display, I once again reminded that Valentine's Day is slowly but surely creeping towards me. I wearily sink back into my pillow, and I'm expected to prepare some sort of gesture. Like take her out to a meal or something. Oh man. It's tempting to close my eyes and go back to sleep. But we all know how that could end. Ignoring the cries of my body, I reluctantly swing my legs out of bed. At once, I'm mercifully attached by the temperature differences outside the covers. Drowsily making my way to the bathroom, prepared to summon the energy to make it through the day. Well, that's one perk of winter air. It's definitely waking you up. Feels a little bit more alive. Feeling a little bit more alive, I start the familiar journey towards school. Hang on. Maybe I could wait for Sayori. I mean, it's not like I'm taking any time away from Yuri if I walk towards Sayori, so there's no harm in it. Well, guess there's nothing to be expected. Well, guess there's nothing to do except wait. Shivering slightly, I rub my arms with my hands. How was it warm enough to eat lunch outside yesterday? Maybe you're in Kentucky. This is Japan, Kentucky. The weather around here makes no sense. Still, no sign of Sayori. With a sigh, I pull out my phone and send her a text. Hey Sayori, I know it's kind of random, but do you want to walk to school together today? No reply. Weird. She's probably sleeping or has her phone switched off. Or hanging in her bedroom. Either way, I don't have the time to check up on her. If I hang around any longer, I'll run the risk of being late myself. Making a mental note to talk to Sayori the next time I see her in person, I slip my phone back into my pocket and start walking to school. Ah, Salty! How nice of you to turn up. We were all waiting. Worriedly, I glanced at the clock. Huh? But sir, I'm not late. He chuckles to himself.
Indeed you aren't. Sorry, I just felt like playing a little joke. That's evil, sir. I didn't even know how teachers had a sense of humor. He feigns a wounded expression, the rest of the class laughs. My, they warned me that being a teacher wouldn't be tough. I'll have you know that a sense of humor is prerequisite to becoming a teacher. Why is that, sir? Well, teaching a bunch of you teenagers for hours on end. You have to find a way to power through the day, and what better way than with joke? Are we really that much of a chore to deal with? Now that would be that would be telling. Anyway, today's lesson. His face drops a little. Unfortunately, the 1930s, especially in Germany, aren't exactly humorous, so apologies in advance. That's because Nazism! Thankfully, the lesson passed by relatively quickly. It's crazy to think about the world used to be like. A world of totalitarian regime founded on fear and maintained through blind obedience. To think that the status quo was so widely accepted. And what evil lurks in the hearts of ordinary people. Right, Sakurai! Salty! With a start, I realized that Sakurai is standing in front of me, looking rather expectant. Oh, sorry, sir. I was a bit lost in thought. Thinking about the lesson, huh? There's a dry sarcasm in his voice. Yeah, actually. Really? Now that's not something I hear every day. Anyway, I was meant to ask you about what you want to do after you finish school. It might seem a little early now, but believe me, graduation will sneak up on you before you can say history is the best subject. It's funny that you mentioned that, because I actually have given it some thought. Oh? Yeah, I decided I want to go to university. Ah, very respectable choice. I trust you'll opt for a history degree? Maybe. Something analytic for sure. I'm pondering my opinions at the moment. Japanese or history, yeah. Anything to do with literary analysis. He nods approvingly. Don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining, but what spurred this on? I always thought you enjoyed history, but I never thought you wanted to take it up at university. Well, guess I'm just broadening my horizon a bit, you know? There's a mischievous twinkle in his eyes. And what ignited this sudden passion, I wonder? There's a student I teach who also has quite the flair for literature. She's rather quiet, but whenever she answers a question and hands her homework in, it's clear that she's very intelligent. I don't suppose such a description rings a bell with you, does it? His smirk is one half innocent, one half knowing. You're talking about Yuri, aren't you? We're, dating. Ah, that explains a lot. I can see that she's rubbed off on you. And that's the second person to remind me of this. Looks like it really is true. Anyway, it's good to see that you've got a plan. A lot of students have no clue, even in their third year. You'll have to work hard, though. The exams that you have to take in order to progress to university are pretty intense. Don't worry, though. You have plenty of time to prepare. I'm sure that with Yuri by your side, you'll be just fine. Well, that's reassuring to hear. It's only recently that I've really been giving serious thought to my future, so it helps to have as much information as I can. Indeed, preparation is key to success, after all. Does Yuri share similar post-school plans? Uh-huh. He smiles. I figured. Well, that's all I wanted to ask. You clearly know what you wanted to do, so there's not much else to talk about. If you need help or guidance on the university admission process, don't hesitate to ask me. Noted, sir. Thank you. You are welcome, Salty. Now, I believe it's lunchtime, so if you excuse me. With a nod, he leaves the room, goose-stepping the entire way. I wonder about him making a blue line for Yuri's homeroom. Wait. With a nod, he leaves the room. I wander after him, making a beeline for Yuri's homeroom. Okay. I made the beeline. I was like, is he going to go over and be like, I know your secret. I know you're after Salty. I too am after Salty. That would be one hell of a weird visual novel. Once again, I happen to catch her just as she's leaving. She sees me approaching and offers a friendly wave. Good timing once again, Salty. I really have a knack for this, don't I? Uh-huh, it would appear so. Shall we head for the clubroom? It's a little too cold for the rooftop today. Yeah, that'd be fine for me. Man, the walk to school this morning was absolutely freezing. February is quite a temperamental month, it seems. Looks like we're the first ones in again. Looks like Sakurai likes to leave early for lunch, I guess. Quite a few teachers do that.
Oh yeah, speaking of Sakurai, he actually asked me what my post-school plans were.
So did my homeroom teacher, funnily enough. I suppose all the teachers are asking their students that question. Well, the second years are presumably the third years as well.
He didn't expect me to want. He didn't expect me to want to go to university and do something like Japanese. He actually suspected you had something to do with that. He actually suspected you had something to do with that.
Me?
Yeah, he says it was your influence. Mom said the same thing. Kind of weird because I don't know what that was. Don't know that was a thing. We pull out our food, and the smell of Yuri's delicacies wafted through the air. If only Sayori were here. That spending time with your partner would result in a personality rubbing off of you? Yeah.
Really? I thought that would be rather obvious. After all, it's their personality and mannerism that drew you to them in the first place. Don't forget their beautiful purple eyes. Oh, damn. Oh. I reach over and plant a kiss on her cheek. Oh, well, no one's around, so I might as well make the most of it, right?
Oh, Salty. You know how to make a girl feel flustered. I grin. Sorry, you were saying? Anyway, you've been surprised at what your body subconsciously picks up. Humans are rather social creatures, after all. I don't think it's just a case of me copying you, though. Oh? I think it's more of a case of you opening my eyes to something I didn't realize I even liked. As in, I think I've always had the capacity to enjoy horror, or I've always had a tendency to appreciate literature. After all, I have played games and watched anime with fantastic plot lines. That I'm dating someone who's nurtures. Now that I'm dating someone who nurtures, is that the right word? Anyway, who helps me explore these interests, I'm beginning to see how much I truly like them. If that makes sense. She nods thoughtfully. Yes, I can definitely see what you're saying. Given that a lot of our free time together consists of reading or discussing literature themes, this is part of the reason why I love you so much, Salty. You actually get me. It seems like the feeling is mutual. She stares off dreamingly. Sorry, that wasn't too sudden, was it? I just want you to see. I reach out over her hands, gently intertwining them with mine. Yuri scoots closer to our faces as mere inches apart. I could get lost in those eyes forever. And this is why I love you. Damn! You have no idea how endearing you really are. Well, that's not the only reason. I could list off a lot of others, but... Shh! I'm gonna go and say this is not Suki. Sheesh! If this carries out any longer, I think I might be sick. Yep. The suddenly irritated voice causes us to jump apart. A tense blush is spread across Yuri's face, and I hastily rub the back of my neck out of embarrassment. Oh, Natsuki! Did you see us see you there? Natsuki rolls her eyes. Well, duh, your face is so close, a volcano could have erupted and you wouldn't have had any idea. Sorry. When did you get here? I swear I didn't even hear the door open. That's because it was already open, dummy. That explains a lot. The sounds of footsteps rapidly approach the club room, permeates the room as Monica hurriedly makes her. Wait. That seems weird. As Monica hurriedly makes her inside. That's a typo. Hey guys! What's the rush? It's not like you're late or anything. Well, I don't have much time, unfortunately. There's some tennis duties I've got to dash off to. Of course, the team decided to hold this meeting in the middle of lunch. She mutters something under her breath and pulls out her food. That's weird. What is it? Has anyone seen Sayori? Nope. Nope. That was her. I waited for her before I started my walk to school this morning, but she never turned up. Tried texting her, but I didn't get a reply either. Perhaps she's sick? Could be. I can't help but feel slightly worried. It's definitely possible, especially at this time of year. I'll send her a text on my way home. Yeah, you live pretty close to her, right? Might be worth checking up on her, too. I glance towards Yuri. She gives me a nod. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Is it just me, or is it kind of crazy that it's almost... Dang, there's a lot of typos these days. Is it just me, or is it kind of crazy that it's almost mid-February already? No, I'm with you. The year really feels like it's passed by the blink of an eye. I imagine you feel that the most. Eh, Monica? You have no idea. It's too easy to lose track of time. Don't you ever take a break? Well, it's not quite that simple. There's a surprising amount of bitterness looking through her words. I attempted to press her, but she suddenly jumps to her feet after looking at her watch. And that's all the time I got. She swiftly packs her belongings away. Leaving so soon? Tennis stuff, remember? Monica nods slowly. Believe me, I'd miss it if I could. See you guys later. With Monica's swift departure, the atmosphere suddenly feels a little awkward, as it's just me, Yuri, and Natsuki. I guess it's kind of a given. Thankfully, the bell rings not so long after, prompting all of us to make our way back to our homerooms. Man, my throat. I don't have any drink with me right now. Another school day, droned and dusted. With a yawn, I make my way to the school entrance, only to hear someone call my name. Hi, Salty. Would you mind if I were to spend this evening with you? Is there even a question? Come on. One of the best things about life right now is how enjoyable it is. If simple my routine tends to be. At this moment, Yuri's cuddled up next to me as we're watching a horror movie. I can hear the wind howling outside, which serves as a contrast against the cozy atmosphere in the room. Yuri's warmth really lends to a homely sense of comfort. With our homework done, it's simply the best feeling in the world to kick back and relax after a long day of school. I stretch out for my phone, causing Yuri to make a noise of discomfort. She was lying against my shoulder. Sorry. It's my mom, so I kind of have to move to answer it. She noticeably stiffens up. Oh, would you like me to give you two some privacy? I wave her concerns away as I glance back at my phone. The display tells me that it's a video call, so I angle the phone so that Mom can only see me. I don't suddenly put Yuri in the limelight. Hey, Mom. Didn't expect you to call me so soon. Evening, Salty. You're looking well. I'm surprised. It looks like you haven't been just living off chocolate and ramen. I rolled my eyes at her light-hearted jab. I don't think Yuri would let me. Yuri softly giggles to herself. Oh? Do you have company, Salty? I glance over as Yuri. Suddenly she looks rather nervous. Tilting the phone away from myself, I try to subtly signal with my eye that this is a video call. Yeah. Yuri's here. As I expected, the laugh didn't sound like Sayori's. That's an awkward silence for a moment. It's clear that Mom wants to talk to Yuri, but still hesitant to introduce them. Yuri closes her eyes for a moment and takes a deep breath. She gave me a small nod. At her command, I turn the phone over so that we're both in the shot. A warm smile comes over Mom's face. Hello, Yuri. It's lovely to finally meet you. Well, if you can call this a meeting. It's nice to meet you, too. My goodness, you certainly weren't joking when you said she was beautiful, Salty. Mom. Yuri's blushing furiously. The poor girl doesn't even know how to respond. Mom, on the other hand, is sporting a joyous grin. You'll have to forgive me, Yuri. Meeting my son's first girlfriend as a mother, I'm quite a special moment for me. Anyway, Salty has told me an awful lot about you. Finally, you have quite the knack for literature. I have to give Mom credit. Playing to Yuri's interests is definitely the best way to get her to warm up to you. Yes, ever since a little girl, I've always been into books. Horror is her specialty, too. Oh, you'll have to be careful around Salty then. He's actually quite a chicken at heart. Yeah, that's only because it's a trait I inherited from you. Mom sighs theoretically. You love playing the genetics card, don't you? Honestly, Yuri, I don't know how to put up with him. Yuri smiles timidly. I can tell that she finds the relationship I have with my mom endearing, but she doesn't really know how to contribute to the humor. And you're quite the chef too, I hear, from what I've heard? Yes, along with reading, food is also another passion of mine. There's something really rewarding about experimenting in the kitchen. We're actually cooked quite a lot of stuff together. Hard to believe, right? Indeed it is. I bet your parents appreciate such a good chef, right? Yep. I know I'd definitely love it if Salty ever cooked for me something. At the mention of her parents, Yuri pretendably goes quiet. She's trying to respond, but it's clear that she's struggling. Well... I squeeze her hand gently. Well, they were the ones who got me into cooking in the first place, so imagine that they're happy with how much I pursued it. A sad look clouds Mom's features. I see. What's wrong, Mom? Whenever I hear about how other children's parents are still around, it makes me feel really guilty. Ugh. I really wish I was home right now with you two. Exams, future plans, first relationships. Times aren't easy for you, son, and I'm not there when I should be. Mom, it's fine. It really is. I never once blame you for any of this. It's not been easy since the divorce, and you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Money doesn't grow on trees, and I know you're doing your best. Besides, I'm doing fine. Well, I pull Yuri closer to me, grinning at the look of surprise on her face. Better than fine, I'd say. Ah, look at you two. You look so cute together. Yuri and I both smile sheepishly. I know you're right, Mom. But the motherly instinct never goes away. A mother's love is one of the most powerful things on earth. It really is. Well, the good news is that we finally finished dealing with a particularly demanding client. There's a good chance I'll be able to return home soon. Really? Really? That's great. Do you know when you'll be coming back? Unfortunately, I don't have the exact date right now. There's still some boring legal stuff that we gotta get into, though. Once that's over, you'll bet I could be at the first plane home. I'm half tempted to keep it a surprise and just randomly turn up one day. Oh, that might be a bad thing. I would love to see Salty's reaction to that. Me too, Yuri, me too. Anyway, I won't ramble on any longer. I'll leave you two lovebirds to it. Yuri, my dear, once again, lovely to see you, and we'll definitely get to know each other properly when I come to visit, okay? I like the sound of that. Okay, well, take care. Love you, Salty. Love you too, Mom. See ya. With a click, the line goes down. I set my phone back on the table. You handled that really well. Did I? I thought I came across as really nervous and reserved. It's never to be nervous in that sort of situation. Your mother is really nice. Somehow she helped me with my nerves. She's pretty friendly. Yes, definitely. She also got a certain warmth to her. It kind of reminds me of my own mother. I pull Yuri into a hug. She clings to me. Sorry, I didn't mean to drag the mood down or anything. I softly plant a kiss on top of her head. It's okay. I get why it's an emotional moment for you. Anyway, do you want to resume the movie? A sly look comes over her face. Unless you truly are a chicken at heart. Oh, I respond by throwing a cushion at her face. Very funny. I can tell that Mom's meeting Yuri in person is going to be the death of me. Ah. I think I'm going to save that and end this episode here. Thank you all for joining me. Like and subscribe if you can. And you all take care. I think we're going to be going to Valentine's Day. And you know what happens on Valentine's Day? Yep. We are running out of saves. I save too often in this game. Okay, guys. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.